Hi, I'm Brittany Farrell, the program director here at STAR, and I am going to give you a tour of our South Knoxville location. This is our South Knoxville location. I'm just going to do a kind of shot around from the middle of the property. We have 47 acres here that was donated to us a couple of years ago. We did have to pay closing cost, but the person that donated it to us also gave us tractors and mowers and various other things to help offset that a little bit. We have fenced in these front fields since it was donated to us, and it's also lakefront property. However, right now it is a muddy, messy river. About March, from November to March, it stays muddy in a river. The rest of the year is a beautiful lake. We have a boat dock down there along the lake that's got canoe slots and a small boat slot. The lake doesn't get more than 4 feet, so really canoes and kayaks are about all that can go on it. And then we have lots of pasture land, working on getting run-in sheds built and waterers and all that great stuff. And the pasture goes on back down the driveway there. And then we have a house built back in the 1920s that's original to the farm, and we have somebody who lives there that helps take care of the property. And as we come back around the parking lot, you can see the arena in the background, and then back to the brick building, and then I'm going to walk where we can kind of see more of the barn and arena that we use. This brick building here is used for offices right now. We do have a master capital campaign that we're hoping to get going sooner rather than later to help renovate and make it what we really need. Right now it's really broken up. It was used as a guest house rather than an office in the last owners. So we've got to kind of make it back to an office and make it more for what we need it to be. And the old barn here is what we call it. There's no stalls or anything in that. We've converted it into like an equipment shed type deal in the bottom, and then we have hay storage up in the top, lots of hay storage up in the top. So right now that's what it's being used for, but it's just a beautiful piece of property with beautiful barns. Here's just a better shot of the house on the property. It's a very large farmhouse that's been renovated with a very large yard, fenced-in yard. Right, here's the back side of the brick building. Now it's a cinder block building. Through those doors there we have our tack room and a little volunteer rider waiting area, lounge, and a handicap accessible bathroom that we added on. This property is not at all handicap accessible, so we have had to convert it to meet our needs right now and are continuing to convert it to meet our needs. This is the barn where the horses' stalls are. We had to convert them from bull pens. This farm at one point was a bull farm, so there were very large bull pens out here. And we had to get rid of those because they were not safe for the horses, and then make them safe for the horses. And then the barn with the stalls leads into the large riding arena. And we will take a tour inside of there as well. And then the property kind of continues on with more pasture back this way. Alright, and here's the entrance from the barn, from the brick building, from the office building. We hope to have it covered one day and make it more of a drive-through for riders to be dropped off right at the front door of the barn. Right now it's kind of working for how we need it to. We have our freezer over here with all the feed and grain for the horses and supplements and whatnot, as well as the turnout and bring-in schedules and feed schedules, blanket schedules, all that good stuff. Wheelbarrows and pitchforks, of course. And then this roped off area makes as our rider parent waiting area for the moment until we get something a little more permanent. And then if you can tell where the green ropes are hanging, those are our grooming areas. We have 4 grooming areas down through here. It does make for a tight space from the grooming area over to the stalls when there are people here for classes, but it works for what we need it to. We've got it matted and all level, that way if we do have some people that are a little more physically disabled. They're not tripping over anything. The barn, like I said earlier, is originally a cow farm, so it's on a gradual slope. So there is a gradual slope up to the arena, which makes it a little tricky for wheelchairs. But so we keep most of our riders out here right now, more of our physically abled riders if we can. Then we have a dry erase board for class information and our cheat sheet for grooming, as well as body parts on the horse. And our horses are over here in their stalls. We have currently 10 stalls. And much like Lenore City, we've got pictures on the stall door, as well as their name, breed, birthday, color, the person that sponsors them, and then a little story about where they came from, what they used to do before coming to Star. So the stalls are matted in the front and then sand in the back. They do have 2 entrances, so the horses can come in from the front or the back depending on what field they are in. They have their slow feeder nibble nets for hay, and their feed pans can go in the manger there or on the ground depending on what the horse needs. And then they have their water buckets over here. So we did convert all of these stalls. They were all dirt floors, and so we added the mats and the sand, and have plans to convert the barn a little bit differently in the future, but right now it works for what we need. And then we got stalls all the way down through. We did build a ramp and mounting block to fit the space, so it's got 2 levels, and the ramp all in one, so no stepped mounting block here. All right, here is our indoor covered arena. This one does not have any walls on the sides or anything. This side of the arena currently is kind of a storage area for all the building supplies we've gathered so far to work on our capital campaign and make everything the way we need it. Bleachers for the parents to sit on and watch. A round pen over in the corner for round pen work. And then because the arena is so large, we sectioned it off, so we've got a fence there to section it off, make it a little bit smaller. And then here's our arena, all sand. Lets a lot of light in. It's very cold here in the winter with the wind coming off of the lake, but very breezy in the summertime. The tank you see over there, we have a plan in the works to collect rainwater off the large roof of the arena and barn to store it in there and then use it to sprinkle the arena. That's the master plan. We have the tank and the plans. It just hasn't been fully completed yet. Our tack room is currently located inside the brick office building until we can get something built. It's climate controlled out in the barn. We did set it up much like the one in Lenore City, where all of our saddles are, English saddles are in one spot. We don't have very many Western saddles here. And then our blankets are all in one spot. Everything's labeled, easy to find for volunteers. Saddle pads, pad and surcingles, all the bridles, reins. So everything is labeled, easy to find for volunteers, as well as all the kind of first aid stuff on the shelf as needed. And girths on the door. So it's a smaller, very much smaller tack room than Lenore City, but it serves its purpose and keeps our saddles in a climate controlled room and does the job.